Shout out to Cats Pod.
1 second. A good defensive play for Montana State.
Touchdown, Tommy Milan is electrifying.
Welcome to the Cats Pod. What's up, Podcats? We are back at it after not the greatest Catterday. Not the greatest Catterday we've ever seen. There are bright spots to go over. There's a lot of stuff to fix. We're going to go over some of that. And I'm pretty sure we'll be reiterating the same stuff the coaching staff is probably saying all week in practice. So not a surprise to anybody. Eric, how you feeling about it?
It was a heartbreaker. I mean, everybody felt the same exact way I did. You know, there's in the moment, there's lots of things you can nitpick and complain about. But, you know, honestly, the game day atmosphere at Montana State, this one was pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie. When you go back from when I was a freshman at MSU in 2011, first football season there, and even back when I was a kid, the difference between the atmosphere from then to now is it's 300% different. I mean, it seriously is. I'm here to tell you that was the loudest I have ever heard a stadium. That includes games at the Grizzlies, which, you know, their crowd is loud.
Yeah.
But that includes games there. That includes professional football games. That includes any kind of baseball or anything where it's noisy.
Yeah.
You know, I remember I went to a game in 2008, Phillies, when they won the World Series. Ryan Howard hit 2 home runs, and it didn't sound like that in Citizens Bank Park.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding you. It sounded like somebody was just blowing an air horn in my ear the entire fourth quarter. I'm serious. It was so loud in there. It's a kudos to everything to do with Montana State from the very top to the very bottom, whether you're a fan with a standing room only ticket or the president of the university that has changed everything so much. Game day at Montana State is second to none.
Yeah.
I mean, Danny Yu on the board, narrating an intro, our guy, one of our absolute favorites, narrating an intro, the walkout, the run out, the rodeo team leading him on. I mean, it's just, you got to take a step back and realize how far we came. I remember as a kid sitting on that grassy hillside next to the west side of the stadium there, playing, catch football with my friends on that grassy hillside. There wasn't even a stadium, there wasn't the student end zone over there. Like, it's just, I'm proud to be a Bobcat. I'm proud of what they've built and what they've done. And, to come out and put up a fight like that didn't end the way I wanted, but you got to take a step back and realize just how freaking good we have it. Because at the end of the day, we could be in Eastern Washington or we could be at Cal Poly, but we're not.
Exactly.
We're not.
We've came back from being at that level too, because for years and years, the program was nearly a joke, and so we got really spoiled last year. And I think some of the fan activity online, some of the fair weather fans that made it jumped on the bandwagon last year have been piping up a lot. But that's not the majority of Bobcat Nation. That's not the majority of them. And we kind of knew going into the season that there was going to be some growing pains. Everything wasn't going to be perfect right off the bat. The coaching staff was going to have to do their job, which we are confident that they're going to do, and they're going to get this team ready. Because all the mistakes on Saturday were very easily fixable mistakes.
Yeah,
it's not mistakes that you can adjust for. It's mistakes that you clean up, you get better throughout the season, and then you become like a national championship worthy season.
Before we get into the ins and outs of the game, you said it perfectly. You can sit back, all these keyboard warriors can sit back and hurl insults all around and say what they would have done different. But the bottom line is it's a young team that has had massive changes. And there is going to be some growing pains. Yeah. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which team you're what team you are or how
Mhm.
great of a coach you have. It takes time for things to mesh, and thank God everybody has played together for as long as they have,
Yeah.
because it could be worse.
Mhm.
The growing pains could be worse, and we're missing three extremely talented four. Four. We don't really know what Chris Long is yet, but we're missing four extremely talented players on the team that are going to have major roles on this team.
Yeah.
And so you can't jump the gun here and start talking crap about coaches or whatever.
Yeah.
We've seen it all, we've heard it all in the little bit of time here since game day, and everybody feels that way. But the bottom line is, this team, when they clean up the little things, is scary.
Yeah.
The defense is already scary.
Oh yeah. The defense played an amazing game on Saturday. I really liked the way that they held them in situations. They even shut down that 2-point conversion that was going to allow us to have a game-winning play if we happen to get a first down there. But the defense set them up for success, which is everything that you're looking for in a defense. They made that game very winnable for the offense the entire time.
More specifically, it's good for a gelling offense.
Yeah.
You can, if they have a bit of miscue, you can sit back and say, well, the defense got us.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna say right now, Cole Taylor better have got that game ball.
Yeah, Cole Taylor had a hell of a game.
Ball.
Yeah.
A baller.
Yeah. Great Falls own, my new hometown,
Yeah.
I've been I've lived there for all of a year, but I'm going to claim Cole Taylor now.
Yeah, that kid's special good.
Yeah.
I was pretty happy to see that. I mean, we could go through the entire defense and talk about how special they are.
Yeah.
Limiting that team to, that kind of points. And I mean, it took them 2 overtimes to get to 30.
Yep.
And that offense was gifted a little bit also.
Yeah.
That South Dakota State's got some, we can all complain about the reffing all we want and everything, but there were some gifts handed to that South Dakota State team. We all saw it. We don't have to bring up specifics, but we all saw it.
Yeah. There was a slight amount of horse pucky going on during that game. Definitely.
There was a slight amount of horse pucky. But like you already said, the good things about this game, defense obviously number one. Number two was we kind of saw Julius Davis coming back into form. He had some really great carries in this game. I'm kind of curious to see play calling wise throughout the rest of the season if we start to lean more on the running game. I don't hate the passing game, and I think that we have to develop it, but we're just used to our running backs getting more carries. Am I right? Yeah, no, you're exactly right. And like you said, Julius Davis, we saw the old Julius Davis on the field on Saturday. The way he was running, his vision looks incredible. He was, I saw quite a few highlights here in the last little bit here, and his vision is elite.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about the Bobcat offense, to be totally honest. It's the second game of the season with a brand new quarterback, brand new OC. Like, you can't expect them to go out and put up 400 yards of offense when everything has changed. Burke Mastel still wasn't in the game. Guys are playing at abnormal positions. Like, when we're healthy and when our team is playing in their normal positions and Justin Lamson can settle in a little bit and Sturbick is settled in, I'm scared of what they're going to do.
Yeah,
and everyone else should too. I mean, they're going to be very good. There's just too much talent.
Yeah.
I mean, you see these flashes from Lamson where it's like, oh, thank God. We're okay.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he almost had 100 yards on the ground. So it was still an impressive game. Like, you'd love to see a little bit better than 18 of 28 on the passing. But he also ran for 96 yards. So when it wasn't working for him through the air, he knew when to run outside of one play. But coach let him know about that one. So that's going to get corrected.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's we could really dive into this, but the bottom line is I still feel like individual guys made really good plays the entire game. There was no quit in that team all the way up until the very, very end. There was no quit.
Yeah. And they played a super tight game the entire way. And it's against a really good, like South Dakota State is a very, very good team. Like for the FCS, one of the top tier teams. We have to be competitive in that tier, and an overtime loss sucks, but it just happens. You know, those kind of games, a little bit of luck here or there, and they go the opposite direction. And that's the same is true for both teams.
A little bit of luck here and there, and maybe the refs don't spot the ball at a garbage spot. I don't know.
Yeah, that would help too. One thing that got kind of lost in my brain about this game that I completely forgot about till I looked at the stat line. Do you remember the pass from Adam Jones?
I do now.
That thing was a dot that he threw running on the sideline. And I know it doesn't matter, and it ultimately was a loss for the game. But when he threw that pass, I was like, was that Justin Lamson? And then I was like, no, that was Adam Jones that threw that ball. He's got an arm. He was good.
You know, I'm excited for the rest of the season. I mean, I'm trying to come up with some words here but like you go from a national title loss directly into Oregon. Oregon is what it is, and then another heartbreaker in double overtime. Yeah. You know how bad these boys want to win.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we want to win real bad. They want it worse. Trust me.
And ultimately, it's just more fuel to the fire. When you lose close games like this, you can either let it lower you down and let it ruin your spirits, or you can just be like, or you can use it as fuel and go at the rest of your season like you want to beat the entire world because you lost that game in double OT. And I feel like that's the kind of players that we have, and that's their mentality. Is like they're going to spend the rest of the season proving that game is not who they are.
Now, the chip is on their shoulders because I know, everyone knows they saw that coach's poll.
Oh, yeah.
And to be ranked below Rhode Island in the coach's poll is a kick right in the double berries under the belt.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it. You know?
That is, I don't even have any words. You cannot put Rhode Island in the same conversation as the big boys.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that.
Rhodey's one of those schools that always gets a bump, and they're not in a great conference, and it's hard to tell even how good they really are because they never play against anybody serious. And this is why the teams don't schedule hard games at the beginning of the season. Because you have the chance that it's going to hurt your reputation early on, and then you have to spend a big part of the season earning that spot back. And Montana State is used to that. I think we feel much more comfortable being underestimated than overestimated. I know early in the season when we looked at those first polls and we were sitting right there, number 1 or 2, that's not normal for us at the beginning of the season. So it didn't feel right. This feels more appropriate for the way the Bobcats are because they're going to come back through this season. Hopefully some people will overlook them. I hope they're dumb enough to overlook them, and they could make some interesting things happen for sure.
Yeah, I like the idea of a pissed off Bobcat team with a chip on their shoulder and a score to settle, because you tell me they don't want a rematch with SDSU.
Oh, easily.
I mean, people can call me a homer and biased, but the better team lost this football game.
Yeah.
I mean,
people came after us so hard after the national championship. I'm kind of afraid of those words.
Yeah. And I don't say it. I don't say anything bad about South Dakota State. I like South Dakota State.
Yeah.
It's a good fan base, a good football team. I don't lump them in with the other Dakota State that I hate so much.
Yeah, they are a classy team. They always do operate with a ton of class.
Yeah, I don't despise them. I just say we had some mistakes in this game. There's some things to clean up, and we still almost got him.
Yeah. Growing pains. That's all it is growing pains.
Yep.
You win or you learn. That's the only two options.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
And I like the idea of scheduling tough teams early.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it tests your mettle. Now they get to go into a little bit easier stretch of the schedule here. They can really work. I mean, they know what it takes to play the big dog.
Mm-hmm.
They can work on the things that, maybe they want to tweak a little bit now. They don't have to play perfect football. I mean, that South Dakota State in your second game at Gold Rush that's nothing but immense pressure.
Yeah.
Now go get loose, work on these things. They have every opportunity in the world to get it right now.
Yep.
Get things cleaned up, and I'm excited for the rest of it. I think they'll make the corrections, and I have every ounce of faith in Vegan.
Yeah. The whole coaching staff, everything's going to get cleaned up. All the mistakes that we talked about and all the good things that we talked about in this game, that is just all a credit to that coaching staff and what we know that they can do throughout a season, developing players.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say, I mean, I got to go back and give some more love to the defense. They're going to be nasty. That front rush, the front four linebackers are insanely good, and I was absolutely impressed by the secondary.
Yeah. What about Hunter Parsons in this game? I don't think we said Hunter Parsons' name a lot in the first two games of the season, or in the first few episodes we did, and he played a hell of a game.
Hunter Parsons is going to need to sew his jersey back together from the amount of times they held him. His jersey can't have much holding it together.
Yeah, exactly. He's the new Brody. Getting held
Hunter
up.
Parsons is a stud. Kenny Iden was all over the field. Paul Brott. I got Zach Black was out there pretty early.
Yeah. Got
Looking
some good reps. Good reps.
Alec Eck looked incredibly good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, you could go through the whole list of them. I was super impressed with the stand-in job Cole Taylor did. I mean, it's going to be hard to not start him.
Yeah, exactly. How do you do that? It's a tough choice to make, but Neil Daly is a beast as well, and he's got some maturity and some experience over him. So I don't know.
How many teams can come out and say, "Oh, I can legitimately rotate all my players, keep them completely fresh through a game, and not lose productivity from the position"?
Yeah,
and that includes the secondary.
Mm-hmm. The secondary was flying around out there, and they look good.
Yeah, Jace McMillan is the real deal, dude.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, I hope that Carson is doing better, because he did have to come off the field there, and I'm not sure if I saw him come back into the game. I don't remember at this point.
Yeah. I'm just over the moon with the way the defense played against that caliber of team.
Yeah. They did look very good. It kind of went exactly the way we broke it down. We knew that our defense was going to play well against their offense, and we were hoping that our offense would do enough against their defense to win the game. So I mean, pat ourselves on the back a little bit there, Kind of called it perfectly. But
Yeah. No. Of course, we wish outcomes were different, but I'm glad they'll have a chip on their shoulder now.
Yeah. I am so far away from the panic button right now. The panic button's not even in the same county.
No.
I'm pretty sure that the panic button is somewhere around Yellowstone County right now for me. So far away from it.
I agree. I have no real concerns. I mean, and you said it perfect. You knew that we were so spoiled that we just, almost everyone just assumes that we can just pick up where you left off, but that's not reality. That's not real. That's just the fan and everybody wanting to be the best at all times.
Yeah. But also there's something good about watching a team grow. And that's what really gets you bought into those players and everything. When you see them go through a game like this double OT game, and then you see them bounce back from that, that's when the real fandom starts.
Yeah. Yeah. And, the way Vegan has molded his teams into national title contenders, he's given everybody no reason to pause on him. You know?
Exactly.
The Dakota State bugaboo, we'll get over it.
Yeah. We're going to win those games. It's going to come eventually, but even the Dakota schools had to lose to some people before they became the dynasties that they became before they turned into them. You know, they had to lose games. They had to eat their punches. And that's what Montana State's doing right now because it's still early on in the journey. It feels like we've been on the journey forever, but it really hasn't been that long that we've been a top contender.
Yeah. I mean, the reality of FCS football is that crappy teams make the playoffs. The Bobcats aren't a crappy team.
No.
They're going to make the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to happen. They'll have, a double overtime loss to South Dakota State in the eyes of a committee isn't bad.
No.
The reason why the stats poll looks the way it does.
Yeah. I think the question that we really run into, and the way that the stats poll has it right now, we're still in the top 4. But I think the big question throughout the season is going to turn into whether or not we stay in that top 4. You know, because that's important as far as the seeding.
Well, drop them out. Yeah. Piss them off.
Yeah.
Give them ammunition.
Yeah. I think we'll get Tarleton State played some good games, but still don't think they're better than the Cats, for sure.
I don't know. If they drop the Cats, I want Paul Brott running out of that tunnel with a dog mask on.
Yeah. That would be perfect. I would love it. I'd love to see it. Should we talk about some games that we didn't analyze so well?
Yeah, I think we need to start off with this UC Davis game. What do you think?
Yeah, that was kind of a tough one for us. You know, we didn't exactly pick that one the best.
I thought UC Davis, and of course this is FBS. You can't really read much into it.
Mm-hmm.
But to get beat 70-10,
yeah,
by is Washington even ranked? I don't think so.
No, they're unranked.
They got drugged through the mud on this one. I guess. Yeah. I hope nobody bet on anything we were saying.
I hope not. We didn't put out any picks, so we can't be held responsible.
Yeah. So, no, that's a bad beating. That could not have been fun to sit through.
No, that's a tough day at the office for sure.
Yeah, most of everything we picked went pretty chalk.
Yeah.
You know, North Dakota looks pretty legit.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good football team. They addressed a lot of pretty major areas of concern.
Yeah.
Montana, when I first looked at that score, the first time I saw it, it's like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Because that game was close early.
Did you see how many yards Eli Gilman had in that game, though? He had a return to form kind of game with 198.
I would kind of hope so, considering it's a Division II team.
It is Central Washington. Eli Gilman should have 200 yards against them. You are right.
I don't really care what anyone. I've seen all the arguments online. Oh, Central Washington's really good in D2. Well, then don't play D2 football.
Yeah.
Jump up and play with. If you're the best D2 school, you're still the worst FCS school
for sure.
So, I'm making an argument about how good a D2 team just doesn't fly. Sorry,
no, it's not a very great argument that you're going to be making. But if you're put into that corner, sometimes you got to do it. Apparently.
Any games really stand out to you?
No, there's one game that stands out to me real brightly, and that's my Northern Colorado Bears.
Yeah.
They didn't win this one. We didn't stay undefeated, okay? We didn't bear down quite as much as we should have, but when you play 21-17 against Colorado State, you're a pretty solid football team. And Northern Colorado might be a surprise this season with where they end up in the standings. I'm surprised. I'm really excited to see how they do in Big Sky Conference play because they may make a big leap this year.
Yeah, that one definitely caught my eye. To lose by only 4 to an FBS team, regardless of who they are, and you being Northern Colorado, kudos.
Yeah.
I'm not going to rip on them this time.
They're playing hard. They're playing hard football for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Nevada barely eked it out.
Yeah. Nevada, yeah,
It's a little
barely
surprise.
beating Sac State. Who knows? Is that Nevada State is bad or Sac State is actually all right?
I don't know. I mean, it kind of sounds like Sac State put up a pretty dang good fight in this one, and
Mm-hmm.
if that guy hadn't thrown that pick, they might have had a chance.
Yeah, that's a great game for them and a great bounce back game after South Dakota State.
This still
Definitely
sucks.
showed a lot more heart.
Still sucks state
Yep, definitely.
forever.
Also weird, Idaho. Idaho beat St. Thomas, Minnesota, but only a 37-30 game.
Yeah,
I think we would
yeah.
expect a little bit more out of Idaho.
I think I think that that's completely fair to expect a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they were ranked pretty high,
Mm-hmm.
and to have that tight of a game against a team like that is maybe not the best look in the world.
Oh yeah.
They got some things to figure out over there in Moscow.
And it looks like they still moved them up in the rankings, which is a little bit weird. Idaho went from 10th to 8th, winning by 7 points to St. Thomas, Minnesota. That's a surprise.
Honestly, I think, I've said it forever. The rankings in the FCS don't even matter.
Yeah.
You have, in my opinion, and I'm biased, you have 6 teams and then everybody else. All
fair.
4 Dakota schools, for the most part.
Yeah.
North Dakota's kind of in and out of there.
Yep.
South Dakota is iffy right now. I will say that. They don't look as good as I thought they were going to.
Yeah.
And the 2 Montana schools.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I hate to say it about the Grizzlies, you have those 6 teams, and then you kind of have everything else.
Yeah.
And Idaho was sniffing joining those 6, make it 7.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like you just can't have close games like that against far inferior opponents.
Yeah. It's not a great look. And who knows? I didn't do any scouting or anything on St. Thomas, Minnesota. I don't know anything about them. They just sound like a school that shouldn't be good at football. That's it. They just, and it's judging a book by its cover, all the things you're not supposed to do, but it doesn't look great in that situation.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And it's early in the season. Everyone's kind of feeling things out, figuring out what works, and all that. So I'm sure they're having the same kind of growing pains we're talking about with the Bobcats, and probably even more with with what they took for losses. So yeah. But still, you gotta blow bad teams out.
Yeah,
gotta beat them by not blow them out, but you gotta win convincingly.
Yeah. Some of the chalky games where there's not much to say about it. Boise State handled business, beating Eastern Washington 51-14. Utah beats Cal Poly 63-9, kind of to be expected. New Mexico beat Idaho State as we picked it. Scottre Humphrey had 141 yards in that game, so he played pretty darn well. But
that one was actually tighter than it looked, because Idaho State, sans their starting quarterback, looked actually pretty legit.
Yeah. And they lost by 10 points to a New Mexico team that has a lot of talent, a ton of talent.
Yeah, they're definitely. I mean, they got a really frisky head coach that we know very well.
Mm-hmm.
He took a lot of players with him down there. They got Scottre. Yeah, they're a pretty good team, and Idaho State made them sweat a little bit.
Yeah, that's all you can do in those matchups for sure.
Yeah.
The only one we haven't touched on real quick is Northern Arizona and Utah Tech. Northern Arizona won this game 38-31.
Yeah, I think this says a lot about Utah Tech as a kind of an up and coming team.
Yeah,
because they're and it is still Northern Arizona. They're a bit of an enigma right now. We think they're good, don't really know for sure.
Yeah,
but Utah Tech was going through a string there the last few years where they were getting absolutely ragdolled by teams.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a good look for them, and I wonder if they aren't turning the corner a little bit here.
Yeah, they could be playing some good football throughout the season. Definitely a team to keep your eye on when it comes to spoiling somebody in the top half of the conference. They could be one of those schools. I could see them pulling out a game against somebody like Idaho, or potentially UC Davis. I don't see them beating the Cats or the Grizz, but they always play the Grizz well, and I'm not sure if we're even playing them. Now that I think about it,
Arizona. Yeah, we go to Northern Arizona this year.
Okay, so I was correct there.
Yeah.
But other than that, the conference is kind of panning out the way we expected it to. Not a ton of surprises yet, but it'll be really exciting as we start actual conference play.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting year. I think there's still a lot of easy wins for some teams out there, but I do think we're getting more of a competitive top half to the Big Sky than we've seen a little bit more, maybe.
Yeah, it's definitely closer.
Yeah, I think there's some teams kind of figuring some things out, and that'll make for some pretty good games here once we get into conference play. So that'll be nice.
Yeah.
The one team I don't never understand Weber State.
Yeah, they are the most enigmatic team in the Big Sky Conference.
Sometimes they look like world beaters, other times they look like total trash.
Yeah.
48-3 against Arizona is that's pretty brutal. At least UC Davis got put up 10.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 3 points is, regardless of FBS or not. I mean, you had garbage time in that game, and you could still only manage 3 points. So I'll just never understand that team.
Yeah, and then they're gonna beat like the Grizz or somebody actually good at some point in the season.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna come through, look like a world beater against somebody, and then the next week lose to somebody they're favored by 17 points over.
Exactly.
That's just in a nutshell.
That's the MO for sure. That's definitely the way they operate.
Yeah. So yeah, it was I haven't even. We'll address next week's stuff, or there's this coming weekend stuff later. But yeah, it was kind of a ho hum week in FCS football, minus the Gold Rush game.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot to pay attention to. North Dakota State won by quite a bit, as they should for the team that they were playing against. Everything's kind of going as expected, but I think once we get into these conference matchups, that's where we're going to see some people separate themselves, maybe see a couple of surprise teams out there, and that's when things really get interesting for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. That we're going to get to see some pretty fun football here coming up. I mean, it's a little bit here before we really get into conference play, but yeah, it's going to start to pick up here soon.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Anything else you wanted to tell the people before we let them go?
No, just well done. Well done to everybody showing out to Gold Rush. A record crowd, definitely record noise. Yeah, regardless of the loss, it was just special to be in that stadium.
Yeah. Thanks for showing up the game, and thanks for showing up to the game, and thanks for listening to this podcast. You can find us on Instagram or Twitter at CatsPod, or you can find us on YouTube at The CatsPod. Rate us 5 stars wherever you are listening to this at, and we will catch you guys again later this week for the Pick'em Pod. Have a good one, everybody.
Adios.